Hello, everybody in the branding kitchen. So happy to have you here this Wednesday. Well, in my world, it's Wednesday afternoon, and Anna's world, it's that way. Hey, there, yeah. It's Wednesday morning. She's just starting off her day, and I'm super, super excited to welcome Anna into the space and have her chat to us because she's been a huge instrumental part in my building my business, and I can't wait for us to chat. And she's also a client. So we're also going to touch on that a little bit. So there's lots to talk about today. So welcome, Anna. Yay.
Thank you for having me here. And yes, like as you were saying that, I realized like you're the first person that I both have coached, right? Like, but I've also been a client of yours, like a branding client. And it's that in itself, we can talk about that later, but was such an evolution for me because like as a therapist, I was very like black and white, like don't blur boundaries. But like I realized like in this business, you can both be a client and be served in different industries. So grateful, Emma, that you were like my first version of that. But yeah, just super excited to be here and also warning that my children may join us at any point.
Absolutely fine. Last week we had not last week, the week before that, we had Hannah's babe come into the branding kitchen and join us. So absolutely fine for yours too. And Sarah's here. Hey, Sarah, welcome.
Hi,
if anybody
Sarah.
else has popped on, anybody else popped on, let us know that you're here so that we can connect with you. Although we enjoy chatting to ourselves, it's always nice to know who else is around. So, Anna, give us an intro. And for those who haven't met you, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so my name is Anna Frandsen and I am a business coach and mentor. So I empower women in their business to like start their business for the first time, or if they already have an existing well-oiled machine running business, helping them like tighten things up, build a dream team, and really look to empower them wherever they're at. So that's giving them a clear strategy, but also coaching them in like a pure coach type sense, since my background is a therapist, so that they're finding their own answers and they're making sure that they see all the strategies, but they're really picking what fits good with them so that it lasts and so that they're building a sustainable, profitable business in a way that they're enjoying too.
I love
It's not my one-liner though.
Yeah, that's a longer one, but so meaty and beautiful and in depth and who you are. And I think that's exactly it. You're so, your awesome source and what makes you so special is, yes, there's the theory and the skills and the expertise, but that your complete heart-centeredness and your care for somebody who is trying to grow their business and help take them to the next level is, it's evident in everything you do. And we've got Joy, who's just popped on the line. She's just two of my favorite ladies. So she agrees with me. One of the favorite ladies to have here. I know, isn't it awesome? It's like a party. Where's the champagne?
I hear my toddler.
Right.
I'll open the door for him.
Okay. No problem. Toddlers are welcome. So yay, so glad that you're here, Joy. And Sarah, awesome to have you here. For those who haven't connected with Hannah, what you'll also know, she's got a toddler and she has a little baby.
Most of my clients actually don't get to meet my son because usually I have him watched during, so this is like a fun, exciting thing.
Yay, something new. And I was just introducing the family. So you have this beautiful babe, but you've also got a little bubba and has taken a bit of a breather and is coming back in full force to Anna's style in a beautiful heart-centered way. But what I want to ask is not about where you're at now. I want to ask about where you started and how you built and grew your business.
Absolutely. So, yeah, what do you want to know? Tell me.
Well, I think a lot of people are wondering, and hold on, I think I'm all clever here. There we go. Wow, question. A lot of people are wondering, when you're starting out and when you're trying to build momentum, how do you do that? What is a good strategy to build and grow your business? And I know your business approach was slightly different to the traditional, so maybe chat around that.
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a big question because I really feel like I talked about earlier, like it totally depends on the business, right? But in general, what I found to be true, and this is why I've structured my business coaching this way, is that at the very start of your business, and how I found it to be true for me, the best way to really get support and to get momentum quickly is to not listen to a ton of voices and to really pick a coach or a mentor that really aligns with you and kind of get some of your foundational elements out there. Because I just feel like those first few months, that first season is really kind of like a tender, brave season. Not that all seasons in our business aren't. But that's why I don't offer like a group for newbies, right? Because I really believe that starting out, it's best to like stay in your own lane, kind of stop downloading all the freebies. And that's totally what I did. And I feel like that served me really well. And then once you have some foundational elements set, really getting with other sisters, other business sisters, whether it's in a paid mastermind or maybe it's just like a peer mastermind, or maybe you've just organically connected with people, is the next powerful phase of momentum. Because I really feel like in this online business world, we can't do it alone. And we need people in there with us. So like, I guess that's one of the biggest things that I think leads to momentum quickly at the start.
And I think at the heart of those things is connection as well, isn't it? In terms of connecting. So like there are different groups, different Facebook groups where you can connect with different people, and you can find some of the information and the resources, and you can download some of the stuff initially when you're starting out. But you're right, you get to that point where it's like, I've downloaded enough freebies. I need something meatier. If I'm actually going to take this business to the next level, I'm going to need someone who's going to really direct my path and help me grow my business. And so I'm so glad that you were sharing a little bit about different ways that you can do that. So yes, masterminds are a fabulous way, and I've loved being part of yours. And group programs are also a nice introduction to that as well, where you're moving below the, like somebody else in one of the groups, somebody said the other day, I've downloaded enough of the master classes. It only teaches me so much and I need more. And that's exactly it. You hit that point where you know, I need to take my business to a deeper level. One-on-one, although one-on-one is really awesome, but group programs are a great intro to that. And so are masterminds and like deeper level master classes as well.
I find at this point, totally, I agree. I find at this point too, people are at a point where they're like ready to start like outsourcing. Like maybe they're like, I want to hire a copywriter. I want to hire this. I want to hire that. But really it's like, no, you're probably at the point where you need to master that first. Like you need to master your copy. You need to master those little things. And so I think that's mental, right? Like that's a mental thing. And I ask myself this still all the time in my business. Okay, what am I resisting? What am I looking to outsource that? Not that it's bad to outsource, because I outsource all the time, every single day in my business. But like, what am I looking to outsource that I really am internally avoiding or resisting that I need to own a little bit more?
Exactly. And I think I remember one of the first things I thought I wanted to outsource was sales. Because you think, I don't like sales stuff. So isn't there somebody who could just do it for me? Like, hire a salesperson. But you're right. If you dig down and actually, I loved the analogy Kate Boyd used the other day where she said that sales is serving. And it's not a pitching experience. You're actually serving your clients. And you're right. And you need to do it first. You need to experience it. And before actually sales is not something I'd encourage moving over, but you need to.
But you could outsource part. Like once you master it, you can outsource parts of it. You can automate certain ways that your leads are coming to you, that calls are coming to you. Like you can outsource and automate it. But you're right. Before you do that, I love what you said. Like diving in and being willing to figure out your resistance and push past it yourself first.
So let's dig into your brand a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, Anna's been one of my clients before. So before you started working with me, how did you know that it was time it was time to rebrand? Like, what were your signs?
Well, I think I had a lot of signs. I just didn't listen to them. Like, I think I so value, just making sure he's not waking up his sister.
The other one.
I so believe in, let me lock her door.
Okay, go for it. Things that we need to master ourselves, isn't there?
It's so, I mean, once you get to a certain point, right? Like branding is so important. And I love, Emma, now how you have like the 2 levels, right? How you have, so like people can get a professional brand even earlier than like, basically there's no excuse not to get a professional brand like pretty early on, right? Like maybe not in like the initial stages, but pretty early, especially with your brand bake-off. But how I knew is my coach suggested it, which like isn't a traditional answer, right? But I think like, you want to come sit with me? She's sleeping.
Good hunch, Mom.
I know. I locked her because she's sleeping. We want to let her sleep a little longer.
No, I see Daddy.
Oh, Daddy's working.
My dad working there.
Nope, not in the garage. She's at the shop.
My dad working there.
Do you want to play with your Legos or sit on my lap?
Sweet. This toddler phase is such an interesting phase. It's taken me right back, right there, Anna.
I know. I love it. I love this phase. So I think my coach had suggested it, and like once I looked into it, I realized like, oh my gosh, I probably should have considered this even earlier. And again, like a big reason because I did gain momentum somewhat quickly. I think I was ready for a full rebrand time-wise, maybe earlier than some people. But I think even if I hadn't have gained momentum that quickly, I definitely would have been a great candidate for the brand bake-off. And I think I realized, wow, like I'm putting out quality, like, and I told you this, Emma, like a million times, but like, I feel like I'm putting out quality stuff. Like I feel like I'm doing a quality service, but I don't feel like the image is matching it. And so I wanted which heart center people fall into all the time, right? Like they don't sell like what they offer and what they're doing is actually better than what they're selling because they're avoiding the opposite, which is being scammy or presenting something visually that they're not backing up. And so because of that fear, they're afraid to market and make their brand and image look good.
Yeah. There's almost a fear around, I think for me, if I interpreted it, there's a big fear around projecting, like so scared that you're going to be projecting your value in a way that's going to be perceived as you more than what you are. But if you do branding right, you bring who you are into your brand, and then it is what it is. Okay?
And that's why I love that you dive in first with that like branding session. Like before we ever start designing stuff, I love that you dive in and really ask a lot of like coaching questions. Like, tell me about you, tell me about your brand. Like, what do you want for your clients? And it's so beautiful that a brand is built from that heart-centered place. From that, what is your biggest dream for your clients? Like what, like you're bringing out, even though my fear was like, that my business would less reflect my heart, I feel like now it more reflects my heart.
Oh, I love that. And a couple of people are probably wondering what a rebrand with me is like. They're wanting the inside scoop, Anna. So tell them, what is it like to work with me? Because it's a bit different to what you probably expected it would be, right?
It was wonderful. Like, I think I thought it would be good because I think I was just mostly judging it based on what I'd seen you, like your personality. I was like, okay, I'll get along with this woman. And your own brand, I was like, okay, she designs quality stuff. But I was just so amazed, Emma, just at the quality of the stuff you provide, but also just your customer service. You're creative, but you're also highly organized, which is kind of nice, like at least on the customer service end. I don't know, maybe like all of our back end, like my back end of my business, I'm like, I need to organize. But I mean, like from my customer experience, like, you were always very responsive. We got things done. Like our project didn't stretch out. You continually over delivered, like, oh, here's an extra branding element, or like, it was just such a beautiful process. And I was just really amazed with your generosity in the process.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Anna. What part of the process surprised you?
Oh man. Oh, we should have done this interview like 6 months ago so that my brain was fresher. Like probably a lot of it. I think I didn't realize how I can open it if you want. I didn't realize like how unbranded my business was. Like the beauty is I'd never been branded, so I didn't have to rebrand. But like, I don't think I realized how many things weren't branded, like my email header I was like, oh, there's actually a lot of elements that need to be branded.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff we create along the way, and then we don't realize that it actually has a certain look and feel, and it's creating an image about you and your business.
Whether we realize it or not. I just had an unconscious brand kind of.
Exactly. That's awesome. And what has having a brand meant for you and your business?
In the other room. I think it's like I was talking about, like up to my professionalism, like up the image. And now I feel like it actually matches what I do. Like, I feel like before people probably saw my brand image, saw my website and were like, okay. And then they worked with me and were like, wow, Anna's actually has a quality product, is an amazing coach. But now I feel like the external represents the internal. And it, on a practical level, saves me and my team time because we have fonts, we have colors. We're not redesigning everything from scratch. Even when we're doing like a new course brand, it's all riffed off of the elements that you established, Emma. So I feel like scissors. So here we go. So I feel like
I have a feeling scissors are going to be a bad idea.
I know, right? He loves scissors. I know people are like, she trusts her 2-year-old with scissors. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying.
So you were, sorry, so I derailed you entirely. You were talking about how it had saved you time and how having the branding elements helped. And then I think you were talking about, I can't remember. It'll come back to us.
Even like, I was saying, even like when I've done like new branding for like a new course, like it's not new. It's just like of my 5 colors, I'm leaning into 3 of those colors, or I'm just using graphics, you know, but like I really have stayed true. Maybe Emma would say otherwise, but I have tried to stay true to my brand.
Well, you know what has been a testament to that is that when people are scrolling through, they know instantly that it's you. So they can see that this is Anna, and that because of the way that the elements are reinforced, and it sort of it encourages that message to come through clearly. So I love that. So if anyone has any questions, please pump them in and we'll answer them for you. But in the meantime, the one thing I'm talking about a lot this week, and I forgot to mention it up front, is the concept of authenticity and bringing authenticity into your brand and into your business. And so I wanted to ask you, what has authenticity meant for you and your business? Because I know this is something that you've spoken about quite a lot. So I'd love for you to share that here as well.
Yes, I do have stuff to say about that. But first, can I talk about how my brand has become more authentic over time?
Oh, yeah.
That kind of like popped into my head first. Like, and I think because of a question you asked me earlier, I think like since our work together, Emma, and I haven't told you this, I have to tell you this live. But I think like my brand has only become more and more authentic, right? Like I think you and I put our heads together and we made our best guess as to making this brand be authentic and really fit me, which I was nervous about, right? But I think the beautiful thing that I didn't know is that my brand would only become more authentic over time. like when I saw something that didn't fit with me, I could shift it, right? Like now in my 5 colors, I kind of lead with 3 of those colors mostly. And I use the other 2 for accents. Probably next year, I'll pick the other 3. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't realize that like the authenticity of my brand would only go deeper. And so like in my branding process, it feels like this pressure to like pick everything for now and forever. And of course you can always rebrand, but aside from the rebrand, you can also just let your brand naturally morph.
Absolutely.
And I think you did tell me this, but I don't think like my beady little brain realized this. And so that's been such a freeing process to realize that like I can stay in brand, but yet let my brand continue to morph in a way that's really authentic and matches me in my heart. So if I feel something in my brand where I'm like, I don't like that, hey, guess what? I get to change it. I get to use that less. Like right now I'm using pink a little bit less. But I'm still in brand. So that's that. What do you think about that?
You know what, when you instantly said that, the first thing I thought about is how you lately are in a season where you're shifting your programs more towards the space of helping people get momentum. So you still serve people when they're starting off in their career, but you've also moved into dealing with those who did everything and now they're ready to take their business to the next level. So it's almost like the content you're working with is a little bit more serious. Not that the previous content wasn't, so don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but it's like it's moving into a more serious phase of business, in which case that navy and gray is a little bit more of a serious tone.
Yeah.
And so it fits beautifully versus the pink that you had for Facebook ads and growing Facebook groups, because that's more of a nurturing space. So it just talks to different aspects of what your brand is about. So I love that. I love that it's feeling like you can shift the colors slightly within the boundaries, but you're still feeling like it aligns the authenticity of the content that you're working with as well.
Absolutely.
Love that. I don't know if you can see any questions coming through on your side, but I'm not seeing any questions on my side, so it could just be a reception issue. So if there is anyone, we were going to talk about authenticity in your business while people are busy asking.
Yes. So I think like, why are you pulling that? Let me see.
I bought it.
You can pull it if you want. I think just to like riff off my last answer, I feel like I see authenticity in my business like that same exact way, right? Like doing my best guess in everything in my business, because we're always making calculated guesses, right? There's no like perfect offer. There's no perfect and anything, right? So we're making our best guess, but we're also open to shifting and riffing, right? Like as something feels out of alignment, as something is feeling out of season, we can shift and be more authentic. We don't have to say, oh, my business isn't feeling authentic, I need to scrap it. We can be like, how do I take my current business? How do I make shifts? Right? I see this, women come to me all the time that have current businesses. And they have current businesses and they're ready to like scrap their whole business and start a brand new business, which isn't always bad. Sometimes that's the answer, but sometimes the answer is, how do we turn your current business to fit more of your heart, to fit more, to make it into something that feels good, because that's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to take where you already have momentum and make some intentional shifts than start from scratch. So I don't know. I think it boils down to being aware and trusting yourself and that helps you take risks too, knowing that if it doesn't work out, I am strong enough to shift it so that it is authentic and aligns with me.
Oh, I love that. And the reason I love that is because it's exactly what we did together, where you helped me take a look at what was working, where I was at, and what were the tweaks and shifts that I needed to make to really leverage what I was doing and move things into alignment that it all did work better for me. So that has been awesome.
Yes, right. And like, how do we make those small tweaks to like make things work?
And if I can reflect on something that I experienced in my business before Anna, I was trying to do it all on my own. and I was doing the big pendulum swings, like this isn't working, well then let's try this other thing and scrap that, which is exactly what you're saying. You don't need to do, you can make small shifts, small tweaks, and to make sure that things are more aligned. And it was always really hard when I was trying to align, in trying to find my path and align it to myself. I would have to try and do all these big shifts on my own. And working with you, it just became so much easier to sit down. You knew me, you knew what I was about, and say, this is what I'm thinking. And have somebody brainstorm with, somebody I could bounce ideas off. It made such a big difference to my business.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of people who are probably in that space where they're looking for a coach, in which case, Anna. But if they're not there yet, Anna, what can they do to figure out what shifts they need to make and get into alignment and be authentic?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, right? Like I think in the beginning of our business, a coach is helpful, but like we ultimately, like it's going to come from within anyway, right? We've got to trust. Sometimes it's hard to see at the beginning, so we have our coach help us figure out within stuff to plug.
Oh wait, hold on. I can't hear.
It's never to. Okay, hold on. I've got to talk in here. No, that's the volume. It's never too early to. I would say if you don't have a coach and you're at the start of your business, the best thing you can do is maybe just listen to one coach's free stuff. Basically, I don't want you to be listening to 10 different coaches, downloading 100 freebies, because what that does is it feels like there's like multiple paths to success, right? Emma, like think about your business. You could, even in branding, do several different business models that work. But it's really going after one and doing it long enough so that you actually see momentum, right? And so if you're listening to 9 coaches and you're simultaneously trying to implement 9 strategies, right? It's going to be really hard and you're not really going to see very much success very quickly versus, obviously if this were a perfect world, I would tell you, this may sound crazy, but to not get a coach and just listen to strategy and then tune into your strategy, right? But at the beginning, that's almost impossible to do. It's normal
hard to figure that out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's normal to pick a strategy that, okay, here are these 9 strategies. This one is the one that feels most exciting to me. We'll try it out. Once it starts working, then tweak it to my unique strategy, right? It's not abnormal to do that because in the beginning, it's like, there's just so much, right? But I would say the closest thing you can do, this is long-winded, is listen to one strategy, one coach, implement, and then tweak it so that it's fitting more you and your style. Does that make sense?
Anna, that's golden. I think it's amazing because it makes complete sense. Because you think by downloading all the freebies, by downloading all the coaches things that you're going to grow your business quicker. But in trying to implement 10 things, you slow your whole process down. So you actually end up doing the opposite. So I love that. And I found that the value that you shared in your space was so generous and giving that there was some good stuff that I was able to really process and work through. So for those who are considering, obviously it's important to find somebody who's aligned to who you are. So check out Anna's group and it's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. And we'll make sure that there's a link in the comments as well for that. But what I wanted to encourage you today, because this is a brand brew and it's an espresso shot of something that's going to help you grow your business, I want you to look around and get clear on whose strategy or whose thinking you're most aligned with, you feel most authentic connection with. And then spend a little bit more time in that space and less time in somebody else's, I think. Hey, Anna, would that be a good start?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And thank you so much for coming in here and sharing these golden nuggets with us. I think that probably there have been some incredible takeaways, and I'm looking forward to the comments below. So if you're watching the replay, still comment below and we'll be around to connect with you. But thank you so much. What a burst of awesome brand growing espresso-ness.
Beautiful. Thank you, Emma. And I know that I thank you for this all the time, but I am just so thankful for the brand that you've given me. I feel like it is a huge, it was a huge milestone in my business and continues to be one of my biggest, talk about investments, right? I really feel like branding is an investment that becomes an asset for your business, something that's super valuable. So thank you.
Love that. And I've loved working on your brand. So it's an absolute pleasure. Yay.
Thank you for putting up with my life.
No, all good. And thank you so much for coming in to connect with us in the kitchen. So looking forward to connecting with everybody. I'm going to let you get to your babe. And then let's end the broadcast. Bye, everyone. Just make sure that has ended.